Hey, everybody. It's time for some news, and this is DC Comic News. As it was announced today, Robin gets a new ongoing series by Joshua Williamson and Gleb Melnikoff this April. And a lot of people love the old Robin book, when you had the Robin solo book with Tim Drake. So I saw a bunch of people say that when this was announced, they thought, oh my God, Tim Drake has gone back to being Robin recently, and Damian Wayne, he ripped off the R and handed it to his father Batman and said, I'm Robin no more. So this has to be Tim, right? No, it's Damian. Now that Damian Wayne has severed his ties to both Batman and the Teen Titans, he'll be emerging from under their shadows to forge his own path, courtesy of writer Joshua Williamson and artist Gleb Melnikoff, in an all-new ongoing series debuting on Tuesday, April 27th. Robin will feature new mysteries for Damian to explore, a new supporting cast, brand new characters, and fights. Lots of fights. This is a quote from Joshua Williamson. Being a big fan of Damian Wayne, I'm really excited about him getting back on a hero's journey, said Williamson. Gleb is the perfect artist to tell the story as we show readers Damian's growth in a new adventure that navigates his legacy, his connections to Batman, Talia al Ghul, and kicks off an important story in the DC universe. Now, I'm a big Damian Wayne fan. He is my second favorite Robin behind Dick Grayson. With all of that being said, we have not really seen a great in full continuity deal of Damian since the Tomasi Batman and Robin. You do get a little bit in the Super Sons, but that's more of a light-hearted book. I'm talking like full out. The New 52 Batman and Robin by Tomasi, coming off of the Grant Morrison Batman and Robin deal before, where Damian was introduced. Those are the good deals with Damian. And what you do need, and what I like Joshua Williamson saying there, is the idea of the hero's journey and Damian's growth, because since the end of the New 52 and even the end of the Batman and Robin book in the New 52, Damian has been in the Teen Titans book and it's been stale. He's the same generic character. He is a dark character who will only do things his own way. He doesn't care who he just trounces all over, ends up killing Brother Blood, and all these things as we're going towards this book. So he's going to have to redeem himself for that killing, all of that going on in this. But you have to give him that, full character treatment that has happened in the past, but not recently. A lot of people have jumped on during Rebirth, have only gotten the generic Damian Wayne, the bad kid who's always going to do something. Now, that does get tempered a little bit if you're reading the Super Sons. But again, I think people separate that as, that's like a lighthearted all ages deal. But Damian is a great character if done right, because he does have layers. He does have the darkness of being raised by his mother, Talia al Ghul, in the League of Assassins and just killing, becoming that assassin. He's going to end up fully taking over the demon's head at one point. But then Batman gets him. And now Batman had to try to pull that back, get the idea of this little kid. And when you do see and remember that Damian's just a little kid who pretty much was kind of being tortured growing up, being told all this nonsense and having to kill people and all that stuff. It's not a childhood. And Batman trying to pull him out of that. But we know that Batman isn't the greatest personal deal, so he did it his way and think. But when you get the layers, when you end up getting somebody who really knows how to write Damian Wayne, what you find out is he has the biggest heart of every character. He hides it, though, because at points he thinks it's a weakness, and that's what makes it great. He's this little kid who wants to be the best, and he has to fight every step of the way. He has that past with the League of Assassins that he has to fight against it just himself. But then Batman looking at him as that. Also, the other Robins who are older, bigger, and so he's trying to do that. But he always does consider himself the best of the best. But you see a little of that is more like being braggadocio, stuff where he may not even believe it fully, but he's going to force himself to believe it. And to do that, he has to just always be on guard at all time. But when he lets it go, when the guard goes down, you do end up seeing he is just a little kid. And some of the things that you had in the past that I really, really loved, obviously when he ended up dying in the New 52 in the Batman Incorporated book, I cried. I did. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was that much into the character and his progression, only then to let him die. But if you go back and read that, one of the best things is right before he ends up dying, when he turns to Dick Grayson, who's there, and says, you know what, Dick? Me and you were the best Batman and Robin ever. And Dick says, I know. And it's such a good moment. Then later in the Grayson book by Tom King and Tim Seeley, when you end up having Damian show up because everybody thinks that Dick has died, when you end up having Damian go to find Dick Grayson, who a lot of times is more of a father figure to him than Bruce, and he goes to find him, and they break down. And these moments are just so, so good. And they're so good because of knowing the full scope of the character, that how much it means when Damian does show that inner deal and shows how much he does care. So please, if you don't like the character, give this a shot at least to see if maybe Joshua Williamson can convince you, and hopefully he will show those layers. But continuing the story here, after learning of a deadly League of Lazarus tournament, the League of Lazarus, Damian Wayne has a new mission to win the tournament and prove he is the greatest fighter in the DC universe. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Joshua Williamson. I think he's okay. But you start talking about Damian Wayne in a blood sport kumite, I don't know how many more things you can throw in there to get me interested in this book and at least give it a shot. Because blood sport, Damian Wayne, I'm in. But first he must find the secret island where the tournament is being held. And of course, you're going to have to find the secret tournament. What you do is you go up and start playing Karate Champ video game, and then some big muscly guy comes and says, hey, aren't you a little young for full contact? And then Damian says, aren't you a little old for video games? See, it's all in Bloodsport. For fans that want a taste of the action to come from Williamson and Melnikov, the March issues of Batman 106, that's on sale March 2nd, and Detective Comics issue 1034 on sale March 23rd will feature a two-part prequel backup, Demon or Detective, after leaving Batman behind. In Detective Comics 1033, Damian comes face-to-face with his mother, Talia al Ghul, and they have a complicated relationship at best. So that will be pretty cool. And plus, I saw a lot of people talking about this and saying, oh, what, you're not really, down with this book enough. You have to throw these backups and Batman and Detective. I'm going the opposite way. It gives you a chance to see how they're doing it. You can go with that, a trial run. If you don't like those two issues, then maybe you can say, yeah, I'll wait. I'll skip that Damian deal. But maybe you'll love those and like, oh my God, I wasn't going to put it. I'm going to put it on my pull list. So I actually like it as kind of a first look kind of deal. But I'm looking forward to this. Usually what I end up doing, because people know I love Damian Wayne. So the minute this news went, I started getting a bunch of messages, and I end up I think I upset people because like, oh my God, you're not going to believe it, this. And I usually take a wait and see policy with everything. I can get excited. All right, that's cool or whatever. But I don't go over the top. I'm not like, oh my God, this is going to be the best book ever, because then, I'm going to put my foot in my mouth and my feet stink. I don't need that. So I'm going to wait and see. I'm looking forward to the backup, see how this goes, see how Williamson is playing it. And one of the things that I fear, Joshua Williamson tends to kind of meander a bit with stories. I want this to just boom right away, just hard hitting. Let's go. Let's see these layers of Damian, and hopefully we'll get them. But that's that. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the news, a little commentary. Now you know I'm a Damian Wayne fan, and I'm not hiding it. And I'd love to hear if people are Damian Wayne fans. I know a lot of Tim Drake fans are mad right now because they want Tim to get some sort of focus or spotlight, and a Robin book would have been cool with Tim as well. But yeah, let me know if you're going to get this. Let me know if you're looking forward to it, what you think down below in the comments. And if you like this, subscribe and like and all those things. And check out all of the links in our notes down there with podcast websites, things, DC, Marvel Comics, all of that. But hey, thanks everybody. And I will talk to you later.